Yo, what's going on, Geminites? It's your boy Gem Mint here with another statue unboxing and review. We got the XM Studios white costume Magneto, so stay tuned. Alright guys, before we get started, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We drop daily content, sometimes multiple videos a day, statue unboxings. We review a lot of collectibles, a lot of comic book storylines, whether it be single issues or omnibus. We do giveaways, live shows, and Comic-Con coverage as well. Also, if you're looking to pre-order or buy any existing XM Studio statues, hit up our store, gemmint.store, where you can purchase those items and we'll ship worldwide. There's other companies there as well, not just XM, so check it out. Alright guys, as you can see, this is a humongous box. This is like one of the last gen pieces from XM Studios, man. Back when they had huge, elaborate bases, big, heavy boxes. Now they're moving more toward smaller footprint with their bases and try to have, not as big as box as these, so that shipping is not as expensive, which is cool. But we still also like these big, huge pieces. So glad to be able to get this one in. So we get the assembly booklet, and we get the art print. Awesome art print. As you can see, XM spares no expense with their boxes. Still get this luxurious looking suitcase type of box. So I like the little biography that XM puts on their boxes. I knew this was the Marvel Now costume where Magneto starts joining the X-Men. The description here is Magneto adopted the white costume after joining Scott Summers' group of renegade X-Men. Though he has since adopted a black version of the costume represented a major turn for him, trying to repent for his previous sins while still carrying out his ulterior motives. Alright, let's see what we get in the box. Alright, man, we got a lot going on. Let's see what's going on in the top layer. It looks like it's going to be a lot of pieces, man. So I'm looking, we got pieces of rebar I can see. There's going to be a lot of that. The base is like a destroyed metal structure, so we're going to see a lot of this. It looks like they're color coded, so purple on the bottom here. I'm sure there'll be a purple spot in the base where that goes. All right, here's like a big chunk of the base. Wow, that's cool, man. So a big kind of iron looking beam or some kind of structure. That's pretty cool. With a big peg on the end. Then we got another one of those big pieces right here. And I can already tell this piece is going to be massive. You got a screw right here? Oh, okay, there's a screw. Another piece of the base. So this looks pretty intricate, man. We're going to have to bust out the instructions on this one. Went all out with the detail, with the mixture of the metals and these rebar pieces and the rock. So it's going to be interesting. Looks like one of the gel silica packs blew up. The big piece of the base. Man, it's just a lot going on with this base, y'all. Oh, that's cool. Like twist it up. Again, like with these big bases, like they really let you showcase the mutant powers of him just being able to twist that metal like that. That's something that we're gonna lose out on these smaller bases for like the newer pieces like Gambit and Cyclops and all that. Another huge piece of the base. I'm running out of space to put this stuff, you know. So I always really liked this Magneto. I always was really impressed with the design. I liked the costume and everything. But I never thought I was going to pick it up because I always had the XM Magneto on Throne. And I was like, man, I don't really need two Magnetos, you know? But since I sold that Magneto on Throne and this was coming out, I was like, man, that's an opportunity for me to jump on it, see this thing in person. I get nervous when I see them put these little styrofoam pieces in there because it's like, you're telling me that this is a fragile, delicate part. All right, so this is cool. This is like one of the constructs or whatever that Magneto put together from the metal. I think there's 2 of those. I heard this piece has like so many different switch outs that you could have like 24 different display options or something crazy like that. All right, I think that's it for the top layer, yo. All right, cool. What do you have? Like a little buff rag kind of thing right here. All right. This looks like another one of those like bald constructs. All right, big pieces moving forward, right? So I'm surprised to see Magneto split at the waist. I don't really mind it, but man, look how big the legs are long, man. Man, that's clean. That kind of porcelain white paint with like the silver kind of boots. They split them. I'm surprised. All right, here goes the big. Oh, the cape is attached to the upper torso. Very nice, which is also attached to the base. Okay. This is one of the cool things I really liked about this piece. This is like a missile that when you attach it on such a way on the base, you don't see this, and it looks 3D. And I really like that about this. That's how I plan on displaying it. Here's the bottom of the base. That's what you would expect, like a rubble type base. So it looks like we have some arms and some portraits, and that's it. Looks like he's going to be holding something or making it look like it's floating. Here goes another one like that. Alright, lastly we have 3 head sculpts. Here we have with the helmet. Looks very cool. Very narrow, man. But you can see all the detail on the inside. You have an unmasked portrait with a smug little grin on it. Nice paint apps on the face. And lastly, another unmasked, but he's bald. Very nice paint. You can see like his scalp under his bald head. Looks great. Holy shit, man. Look how many pieces come in this white Magneto, man. We got the base on here. We're going to try to figure out what goes where. Yo, there are 34 pieces in this. Oh my god, yo. So, okay, a lot of those are little pieces of rebar that says, that shows where they should go, but this looks like it's going to be difficult, man. Alright, first of all, I guess let's look for purple pieces. Alright, boom. Need one with a red bottom. There we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Calm down, guy. Alright, we're kind of rolling. The color helps because it does have the color on the peg there where they stick in. This is giving me flashbacks to Sideshow's Carnage comic kit trying to get them tendrils in, man. Alright, we'll go back to that one. There we go. Alright, Gem, you could do it, baby. Alright, here we go. An orange to an orange. Okay. This looks like it's a white one right here. Alright, moving along, moving along. Faster than I'd hoped. Oh, this looks like it's just a magnet. Okay. These could all be wrong, too. I'm just, like, sticking them in. They're fitting. So I'm just rolling with it. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Oh, I see, I see. Okay, okay. This ain't no joke, man. So let me tell you something. This piece right here with the 3 prongs that go into the base, very hard to get in. And then this piece is supposed to go in it and like attach right here somewhere, but that's not really going in. So I don't really want to break it. I'm not even going to put that piece in. All right, now what the hell is going on with these pieces right here? This big piece. Dang, that's crazy, yo. What? All right. Then this piece looks like it goes across it. Okay, that's where the screw comes in. So you screw these 2 big pieces together. Alright, so we got those 2 big beams screwed in. What else we got to put together now? Okay, this big piece. Alright, that was easier than I thought. Yo, look at this base. This thing is crazy, man. Alright. This got to go in on the side over here. Alright, so that's pretty interesting. This is not magnetized. There's a hole behind his belt buckle that goes all the way through to the torso. So basically this pin holds the bottom half together with the top half. Hey, whatever works. The only thing is I don't know how flush I'm sitting into this thing in the back, man. Alright, so those pieces go in the back there. Start getting this guy together already, man. Got an arm over there. Got a fist over here. Alright guys, man. Now that this thing is nearly assembled, let's change up the view and try to get an idea of how massive this piece is. I still got a couple pieces I got to put together. I mean, these balled up pieces of metal are just switch outs. A couple of the rebar I haven't seen where the holes are, but I would like to get these magnetized pieces in real quick. I have no idea where they go. Let's see here. So it looks like this is piece 17, and 17 is supposed to go. You can plug this up if you don't want that rocket pointed out. But why would you not want that rocket? To me, that is so crazy. I mean, I know it looks flimsy when you move it, but when it stays still, if you angle it right, you don't see the metal, and you just see like a flying missile that Magneto's stopping in midair. Alright, so enough of that. You know, these small little pieces of rebar, it doesn't really matter where they go. You know, it doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and just put the cherry on top real quick, guys. That is one hell of a Magneto statue. Look at that, man. Magneto shares his first appearance with the X-Men and Professor X, which always made X-Men 1 a very cool key for me. Marvel Now was like Marvel's reboot, kind of around the time that I guess DC was doing New 52. And the Marvel Now moniker didn't really last that long, but Magneto ends up donning this white costume. Like XM says on the box, he starts working with the X-Men and with Scott Summers, with Cyclops' Rebel team. And then I think like recently, like last year, he dons a black costume. And I haven't really been following Modern, but I always like this design. A lot of people are staying away from this piece because it's not his classic red and purple, but I mean, we've seen that done to death. I thought XM, you know, they always go for the statue that nobody's doing, like the character no one's doing, the version of a character that no one's doing, so you got to respect how they would make 1,000 pieces of this. This is, like I mentioned before, part of XM's old school kind of last gen phase of statues where it's got a huge base, huge box, a ton of switch outs, and an edition size of 999. Now this retails, it's got to be like 900 Singapore dollars. I'll put the exact price on the screen here of what it retailed for, but shipping is expensive. It was like 436 Singapore dollars, which has got to be like $350 American. Which is why they're not really going to go this route anymore. You know, they if you look at their new Colossus, which is a pretty big piece, no switch outs. The base is definitely not as massive. It doesn't take as much of a footprint as this one. But I always respect XM's ambition. And looking at this piece, I think engineering-wise it's kind of difficult. But paint-wise, the paint looks good everywhere and very clean, like always. Their paint is always super clean. Sometimes I feel like a little too clean, where it needs to kind of have shadowing or shading. But I think they like to really let the sculpt show the details, so we'll get into that. But I mean, for the concept, again, another Magneto storytelling base. They did Magneto on Throne, which is a Grail piece. This one, it's his classic, showing off his, strutting his stuff, man, showing his mutant abilities to be able to control metal and the power of magnetism, and he's bending these big bars and these pipes, and he's making the big X behind him. He's stopping a missile in midair. Looks awesome. Like looking at the bottom, you can see this rock base, this rubble base, which is very common in statues. It has these pipes, and they show a lot of good weathering. This one has like cool rust details around it, so the paint looks good there. It's like I said, a lot of weathering. These rebar pieces, man, are a real pain in the ass. I really wish that there was an easier way to accomplish that. But like I said, I mean, you don't even plug some of them in, and you can't even tell, man. There's so much going on in this base. You got a couple of cogs, and I don't know what this is supposed to be. This piece of metal that kind of looks like it might have some brass in it or something. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but it looks like it's breaking off from the piece in the back on the X there. Looking at Magneto, he's got his costume details are awesome. I mean, from the different textures on the torso and on like the his thighs to the shiny silver gauntlets and boots. I like the black lines in there. And again, like the floating aspect, how he looked like his feet are not touching anything. They got him plugged into the back with his cape. And the cape is a different material. It's kind of like that PVC material, kind of like that Moon Knight cape was, or even like the Storm cape, but it feels thicker than those. I think the mask looks great. I mean, it's so overpowering his face. Like his face is hidden behind the mask, and you can still make out the details well. But it looks really good. Let's take a look at some switch outs, because this is actually how I would pose him. Helmet on, 3D missile flying in the air, got his fist crunched up. But let's see, if we switch out his right arm, which has a really strong magnet, by the way, you can put on this arm where he's got this ball of metal. All right, so I zoomed in a little bit, got a little bit closer, and you can see we switched out the portrait with the bald portrait, which now that I see it, I'm like vaguely remembering from the books. And we switched out his right arm with one of those balls of metal, which is a cool look. It floats on his thumb, similar to how Cerebro used to on the Magneto on Throne statue. These magnets are strong, man. And then you got the switch out with the unmasked portrait, but with the hair, smirking grin. Now he's got both of those balls. He's double fisting balls, and he's got his constructs ready to go. It is kind of difficult to get this missile out, so I didn't even bother just capping it with a plug. I just left it out with the missile, but I guess the effect of the missile is supposed to be with his hand or whatever. But we got some good shots of this. We'll show you some pictures. Overall, it's a really impressive piece. I'm happy that we got it in. It's going to be one of the last Marvel pieces that are this big and elaborate from XM, so that's a little bit bittersweet. But yeah, man, let's show some pictures. Let's cue the music. You guys drop me a like if you watch the video, if you like the content. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like I said, because we're dropping daily content, sometimes multiple videos. And you guys stay minty fresh, man. Peace. Oh, and check out gemmint.store if you want to pre-order any XM pieces or buy any that are in stock. We'll probably have some of these in stock. I would imagine that with that edition size, there's going to be a couple laying around. But thanks for watching. Peace.